Hey folks, welcome back to Gatekeeper Media as we continue to bring you coverage of the 2022 Ledgestone Open just outside Peoria, Illinois, out in Eureka. Our first round is already in the books out at the Eureka 10th course, but now we find ourselves at Northwood Black here for round 2, and we're with our chase guard. We appreciate you all tuning in. Myself, Dustin Mouret, going to be bringing the commentary alongside Nathan Queen. How's it going today, sir?
Doing fantastic. This is more my style of golf right here. Happy to be back in the woods, even just watching. We've got Corey Ellis, Brandon Cawthorne, Andrew Presnell, and Ricky Wysocki for our viewing pleasure here on the chase card.
Yeah, going to be a very stark contrast to what we saw in round 1 for this type of golf these players have to play. This has often kind of been regarded as one of the hardest courses, certainly on tour, if not the world. As we get to our first bag check here, we'll start with Corey Ellis, putts with the Challenger, known for some of his buzzes, and also likes to throw Undertaker, Raptor, and Force is another big one for him as well. Very good power thrower.
Getting into Brandon Cawthorne's bag, I believe he putts with his Omegas. Going to be throwing that QMS a lot for his mid-range shots. And of course, he's got those Dracos and QLFs. His fairways, and going to be leaning on the Scorpius for long distance.
And then Andrew Presnell putting with the Focus. Obviously also has some buzzes in the bag. Likes the Mantis. I'm sure we'll see that out a lot today, as well as the Raptors, Onyx, and some Forces and Nukes as needed for distance.
Ricky Wysocki putting with that Dagger. There's a lot of harps, and of course his Saki Bomb Slammer for the upshots. Really leans on the Felons a lot for his fairway drivers and goes to the Enforcers and Rives for those distances. Bringing us straight into hole 1, 455-foot par 3, probably a 30-foot drop or so, and just a very tough shot to hit. It's a hyzer flip.
From Barbersville,
Forehand or
West
backhand.
Virginia, Corey Ellis.
So Corey Ellis will be taking the tee first, currently sitting at number 10 in our UDisc World Rankings. He currently took second place at Deglow in a playoff to Calvin Heimberg, also came third at the Beaver State Fling, was also fourth in our first major of the year at Champions Cup, and has several other kind of top 15 finishes on tour this year. Almost never places outside of the top 20, just a very strong player. Known for just having such great distance with either a standstill throw or just a very short walk-up.
You see that very short run up right there. Gets this off to the right side, but that is safe as there is OB on the left.
From Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Brandon Cawthorne.
Now we're at Brandon Cawthorne, a player I'm actually not that familiar with. He's been playing pro since 2015 and has 33 career wins in MPO. Don't see him on tour too much.
He's a player from Oklahoma, close to the Tulsa area. Been around a little while. Pretty good shot to the middle there.
From Ozark, Missouri, Andrew Presnell.
Now we're at Andrew Presnell, having a pretty good year so far this year. Came 13th at Idlewild, 15th at the Portland Open. Has a few other top 30 finishes on tour. Definitely a, pretty experienced player and someone that can certainly do well here.
I like this camera view back here. It shows you how tight this fairway really is. These players definitely erring towards the side of caution on the right.
And from Scottsdale, Arizona, he's the two-time Ledgestone champion, the reigning co-champion, and two-time world champion, Ricky Wysocki.
And of course, now we have Ricky Wysocki, a man who needs little introduction. The two-time world champion has already found 2 titles this year in 2022 and also sits number 2 in the UDisc World Ranking, so a little bit of a pattern there. Also had some podium finishes at our first major Champions Cup, as well as the Preserve and Deglow, so definitely in some good form this year. Oh, baby.
What a shot from Ricky. Gets that out to the left side, able to use the majority of the fairway. They're going to be just outside the circle for a rare birdie look here on hole 1.
Great looking up shot there from Presnell, though. Certainly going to land him in the bullseye for par. Might even challenge that little CTP there.
That's something we're definitely used to seeing from Prezi. He's got a very nice touch-up shot. If he's got a straight look at it, not going to have too much issue, unlike Corey Ellis right there. Just a little bit too far up that hill to have a clean look.
Cawthorne has no problems, though. Landing it near the pin for a stress-free par.
I give that a soft bid. Maybe save the par there, but bogey is something you're gonna have to get your mind ready for out here. It's just not really too reasonable to expect a clean round.
Ricky starting off clean, though, getting an important birdie early here at Northwood Black. Not a whole lot of those to be found, I feel like, on this course. Like you said, it's going to be quite the marathon playing this course. You know, not only just trekking through the woods, but also just keeping your mental game intact, because you're going to, at some point, have to do some scrambling and fight back on this course.
Absolutely. Not saying that a clean round isn't possible. Definitely doable, but you can't get discouraged by a bogey out here. Like you said, Ricky, with the rare birdie on this one, only 15% of the field able to card the birdie to start their round. And this did average close to a quarter stroke over par. Straight into hole 2, 580 foot par 4. You've got to get to the top of that hill. It's about a 300-foot drive, slightly to the left of straight from the tee pad. Then you'll have a straight downhill look towards the pin inside 300 feet.
And I believe Drew Gibson's the one who kind of made this hole famous. Was it last year he threw it in for eagle, I believe?
Yeah, threw that second shot in.
So, see if any of these players can try to create their own highlight here.
Moving a little bit too far left here. Out of the hand, he needed that to stand up more. He's pretty scrambly, so he may be able to get up and down from there still with the lean outside arm.
Yeah, certainly one of the strongest scramblers, I feel like, on tour. Always really able to make something creative happen, as like Cawthorne, got caught up there on the left-hand side as well.
Pretty early, but fortunate to sneak through that inside line. This is going to be staying a little bit too far on the right side of the fairway. He's not going to have a straight look from that position, I don't believe. Going to have to add a little more angle. Turnover shot in.
Yeah, that's a constant theme, I feel like, on this course. It's not just about hitting the initial gap. It's also about finding that perfect position as you progress down the fairway. And you see Ellis there also kind of getting hung up on that left-hand side, going to make the approach tougher.
Brandon just playing for position here, trying to get up and around the corner. Actually left that a little right side. I think he should be far enough to be able to get up and down.
That is a nasty kick for Ellis.
And at Northwood, you never want to see your disc continue to fly after a kick. It's just getting farther and farther into nothing.
Oh, man, Ricky looked to be on track for the green. Catches one of those last guardian trees, giving him a much longer bid at a birdie.
Got a little bit of room to work here. It's around nicely, but I'm not sure that's quite going to be far enough to be in circle 1. Could have possibly reached up into circle 2.
Certainly not a bad play, though, from where he was. As unfortunately, Cawthorne, though, is going to get caught up here once again. So that's a lot of work left to do on this hole. I believe this is Ellis.
There's the disc.
Yeah, good
Yep,
shot, dude.
that is. And, I mean, it's up there near the pin. Not bad for
Yeah.
where he was at all.
Actually got out great. May have a look. Save the par. Brandon just
man.
having quite a bit of trouble getting down this fairway. As you said, not really one that plays on tour too often, and had that good first round. Sometimes those cameras can bring in some jitters, especially if you're not used to them.
Yeah, I know he's coming out of Oklahoma, as you said. I know that he's played at Waco and Texas States a couple of times over the past couple of years. But yeah, certainly not a staple on tour. And you imagine, as you said, that pressure could come into play as Ricky trying to give this one a chance. But we'll have to save the Raptor legs for later. That's going to be a par for Wysocki on this one.
What a bid, though. So smooth.
Absolutely.
And maintained the height the entire time. Just a bit soft.
Now we get to Ellis, who had a heck of a scramble out of the woods to get here on the green and actually saves par. That is so impressive.
Jams that putt. These Mach X's catching that very nicely. He gonna head and make his par putt as well. This hole averaging directly at par. 58% of the field taking par. Just a few double bogeys keeping it from averaging under.
Cawthorne will be happy to get off of this one, having some struggles here early, but still lots of golf to play to make up for it. So we're going to see Presnell also finish things off here with a par. So well played, and we'll head on over to hole number 3.
Another par 4, 604 feet. You travel about 295 feet to this tree we're passing on the left now. At that point, the fairway drops down about 10 feet. If you can get a 400-foot tee shot, then you're going to have an opportunity to pick one of these 3 or 4 gaps down here on that second fairway. Most likely still a blind shot as it drops down another 10 feet right before you get to the pin.
Great
Looks
forehand.
fantastic.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Just, oh my God, missing everything and getting center cut. What a play from Ricky.
Take a look at that very clean forehand form. This backside view. See how he gets his momentum up so quick. Just uses that lower body and that back leg to swing his arm around all in one motion.
Uh-oh.
Good discount double kick, I guess, there from Prezi to get back towards the middle of the fairway. Still going to have an opportunity for par, which is not always something you can say after hitting first available.
Miss Ellis puts a good move on this forehand as long as it can fight back. And, well, that tree kick will help it along. Puts it in the fairway.
Very difficult to get birdie from there. Still possible, but going to be pretty much out of position. This is looking great. He's over there on the left side is the more open gap of that fairway. He's going to be in a great spot right there.
Yeah, well executed tee shot there from Cawthorne for sure. I know he's certainly looking to try to play recovery as Presnell continues to struggle to make progress here on the fairway, and now he's in a really tough spot.
Bogey at best. Needs to get 200 plus feet down the fairway here.
Beat that one.
Did not do that.
And welcome to Northwood's black.
Absolutely. This
I
is showing you why the course averaged over 3 strokes above par today.
Where do you rate this at difficulty-wise? I know you obviously have a lot of tour experience. Again, a lot of people claim it's the hardest course on tour. Do you agree with that?
How's that not flip?
Last year, I would definitely agree. It's been cleaned up in a lot of the areas that just made being a foot or two off of the fairway last year impossible. Without me actually playing it this year, I'm not quite sure, but it is.
Yes.
And it's one of the few courses where you can play well. What a shot. A great kick back towards the pin. But it's one of the few courses where you can play well, not really make mistakes, and then possibly end up over par. So it's hard to say it's not the hardest course. Yeah.
I think that's a good explanation, as Wysocki also skates up there near the bullseye on the approach. And so Ellis and Ricky looking at birdies here.
Yeah, that was a fantastic shot from Corey out of position back there. Brandon in a good spot. Has this one a little bit too straight to the right. Hopefully he'll have a look through those trees for a downhill putt.
All right, coming out, hopefully.
I believe this may be the first throw not really in the trees. A little bit from Prezi. Gonna be happy to move on to the next hole.
Absolutely. This Cawthorne tried to get that a slight bid. Not quite coming up with it, but has this putt here to finish things off. And that'll do for par. Which I think pars taste so much sweeter on this course than others, that's for sure.
Definitely so, and that's a bit of a tester putt after you've had a struggle hole, had an opportunity for birdie and didn't connect, but able to come back for the tester. So hopefully that can start his round a little bit and get him going.
Double for Prezi, but again, a couple of birdies about to be collected here. Wysocki being one of them, going 2 down through 3 here. Getting hot early, perhaps, as Ellis will find his first birdie as well. The round gets him back to even as we head on over to hole 4 after a short break.
We are at hole 4, a 637-foot par 4. You've got to stay right of this tree, which is about 333 foot down the fairway. You need 380 to be able to see this pin on your second shot. If you've traveled that 380, you're going to have about 250 in, and that creek in front of the pin is casual. Very tight line here to hit off of the tee.
That looks great, though, from Ricky, dude. That is getting way down there. And, I mean, a little caught up, but I think he still is going to be pretty happy with that.
Definitely so. He actually ended up flexing to the left side of that tree. There is a little bit of room over there, but I don't think it's the intended play. He got far enough to have a great shot. Corey, however,
Yeah, I think so.
still went a good ways for how early
I
that
know.
came out.
That was so fortunate. I believe it got a late kick towards the center of the fairway as well. So he actually is not too bad off.
Yeah, good shot, dude. Come on.
It's going to be a possible birdie position there. That was a good kick down into the fairway. He's right at that tree, 333 foot off of the tee. I'm surprised that Andrew's the only one going backhand here. I really like understable fairway driver. This stand up just like this.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Just catches that tree. I believe that was going to be in great position, but still a good spot right there. Can't quite see the pin, I don't believe, but in position to get up and down.
And Ellis has putter in hand here. Likely not looking to get too crazy on this second shot.
Can't believe he's standing out in the open.
Yeah, just playing for position here and for par. Well executed as well for that goal.
Another one of those hyzer stand-up shots that you don't really want to turn over, and he has executed that perfectly to get himself his first birdie of the round.
And that looked like such awkward footing trying to X-step downhill, but just played it so meticulously, and he will be rewarded.
Presnell going with a more overstable shot, swinging it out a little wider with a bit more speed, and it works out for him as well, skipping up there just around that wall. It'll be inside circle 1.
Yeah, this is just a nice little chip shot for Ricky to grab his third birdie of the round here.
Looking for the eagle. Oh, it actually was quite short. Tricked me. I forgot those Wysocki bomb slammers slow down so fast.
Yeah, they are pretty darn overstable.
Hopefully not too much reaction there. You can get pretty bouncy. Yeah, it looks like he's probably inside the circle, but not really the putt you want for par. Luckily.
Sails
I was going to say Corey Ellis is usually about 100% inside circle one.
Yeah, I believe he had the season record last year for C1X, if I'm not mistaken.
So for circle two. Great putt there from Ricky. That's probably up 6-7 feet. Can't really see the cage from down there. You're just looking at the chain support and the top half of the chains.
Great birdie as well there for Presnell to join Ricky. Got a course correct after some mishaps on hole 3. And Ricky's just on a tear, man. 3 down through 4.
And we haven't played a hole plays under par yet on the day. And he's 3 down through 4. And then getting a nice birdie. Hopefully he can get a nice birdie on this next hole as we do finally reach our first hole playing under par. Hole 5, 451 foot par 4, 255 to 265 feet. Go any farther or shorter, you're not going to have a great line for this upshot, which is only about 170 feet, but it is blind as it goes uphill 10 or 15 feet. Just placement is paramount on this one.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be reaching for a slower speed disc here, just like Ricky, to try to make sure they don't overshoot the target. So that'll work just fine for Ricky. Should be able to step out and chip one up there.
It will. He'll be in a great position there. And the first hole, averaging under par, also the easiest hole. 50% of the field taking birdie on this one. Really one of the wider fairways and one of the shorter holes that you have here. It's just the placement that you have. That's pushed a little too long for him to be in the ideal position. I have to throw a turnover shot. There's a few trees you can't really see that kind of lean over the fairway, making that shot a little more difficult. Still pretty short.
Good line here from Presnell.
Thank you.
And that skips out nice for him. It's crazy to say, this hole almost probably feels like a bit of a reprieve for some of these players, but still, you know, kind of a tight fairway where you have to control distance.
It does. It's kind of, it almost feels like it doesn't fit because it is so short, but you have to have such touch, just like the rest of the course, that it still kind of blends in there. Just gives you that kind of weird feeling after playing those first 4 holes. Nice turnover angle there from Corey, not getting too much cut roll. He'll be right around circle's edge for his birdie.
Looks like Cawthorne's lining up a similar line here. He certainly was not too far from Ellis with his own lie.
Sideline? Nope.
Just a bit too inside on that one. Either needed that a little bit wider or a little less anhyzer on that to get that correct. Is he going to go with a tight little hyzer? Oh, kept it flat and pulled it over a bit too far right.
And as expected, Ricky just chipping up a forehand here, and yeah, that's going to keep the birdie streak flowing.
There's another stake.
Yeah, he was probably trying to give that one a bid. Brandon and Andrew be a bit upset with themselves here that they aren't able to card this birdie, not being too far out of position. Especially Andrew here, pretty much being in position.
That's still a chance here for Presnell. Has an open look at it. Not quite, though. Just a little wide.
Yeah, that was a good bid. Had the right height.
There you go. Oh, that one tried to skate out on him, but it does fall back in.
Dancing.
Yeah. Hey, the scorecard don't care, though. Still going to be green.
Says 3. Him a nice birdie now. Back to 7 under par. Ricky Wysocki, 4 down through 5. Absolutely tearing up Northwood Black so far.
Man, nice little gobbler to kind of kick off the front half of the front 9. If he can keep up this pace, he is certainly going to be looking for a spot on the lead card for moving day.
So kind of a bit of a break there with an easier hole before we head to hole 6. 947-foot par 5. To those difficult holes, you've got about a 360-foot tee shot at least to get to a decent position. If you get 360, you've got about 320 feet until the back of that dog leg left, where you really don't want to push too far, but especially don't want to come up short. The ground angle, once you do get to that dog leg, is very difficult as it slopes down hard to the right.
Oh, great redirection there for Ricky off the tree, right into dead center fairway.
He's actually just a little bit off to the left side. I do think he's going to have room to work, but those trees that he landed at are the mark that I had 365 off of the tee.
Oh, inside early from Ellis.
That's not what you want. Any of these holes out here, you've got to get off of the tee some good distance. Lily trees are almost instant bogey out here.
Yeah, just so much distance to cover and such a long, narrow corridor all the way up until the green. Definitely requires perfection for birdie.
And just a little bit too much off to the right, gonna have him a bit out of position. Let's take a look at his form here. It's very clean. I don't have too many forehand tips, so I'm not greatest at calling out those forehand form checks there.
I'm also going to hold back on any sort of comment on form.
Drew again getting a bit off to the inside. Corey lucky to stay on the fairway. You see he's here at the FPO tee pad. Still 790 feet to go. Ow. It's going to make the corner.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Is incredible.
It's almost coming up to the next group. That was a beautiful second shot to recover after going a miss off the tee. I'd be super happy with that.
Yeah, I was calling almost instant bogey for him, and he's back in birdie position now.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the scramble on the scorecard if he can complete this one. As Prezi continues to find himself in trouble here. Takes his medicine.
It's tough to do, guys. You know, sometimes it takes about 30 seconds to make that decision.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking for anything, any hope of salvation, and then you just realize there's nothing and you have to just pitch it out. But smart to do so as Ricky. Decent shot there.
Yeah, it comes up a bit short. Gonna have a difficult time making it around that corner to get to the pin from there. You see Brandon only being 5 feet to the right off of the fairway. It's an interesting play. I feel like he could have gotten a little distance on there, but really wanted to make sure he was in the middle and in position.
A little quicker. Yep.
Good shot from Andrew. Pushing down there just a little bit long, but should be able to reach the pin from there.
Yeah, now Cawthorne throwing 3 here, looking to see if he can use that pitch out to fight up towards the green.
Questionable. He has made it around the corner, but did push long. On how far he got in there, something could grab him or he could have an open look. And you see Ricky gonna try to get tricky again.
The height there kind of messing him up. Seemed like a decent angle, but we'll get caught up.
Corey Ellis. Patching last tree. Still gonna give him circle 2 look. Incredible scramble after an early tree kick off of the tee.
Absolutely. And Presnell at least has vision on the basket here with a pretty clear straight shot in front of him. Executes it well.
Oh yeah, beautiful show of touch right there. Too many shots on that first part of the fairway, but great way to finish out the hole, just to tap in, not have too stressful of a putt.
Here's Cawthorne trying to save par with this approach. Overturned, though.
Give himself a small chance. It's easy up and down for Ricky there. He'll tap in his par. Corey Ellis for the long birdie look. Didn't like it.
Yeah, just didn't quite complete the follow through there, so misses a little left, but still will get par, which honestly is still impressive based on his tee shot.
Just 16% of the field able to card the birdie on this one today. 37% taking bogey or above. Difficult par 5. We're starting to lose that trend of par 5s being easy gettable holes. I know you know the next one out here. It's not that gettable.
Man, there's a lot of holes out here that aren't gettable. Especially for me, bro. It would be a nightmare if I went out there, but it's fun to watch, and we'll be back to finish it after a short break.
I have never seen another group of people talk about their thing the way that disc golfers talk about our thing. And it feels like you're a part of it. It feels like no matter how big the sport gets, you being a part of it, you feel like you have an investment in it, and it's yours.
Right, bringing us into hole 7, a very tight gap here. Another hyzer stand-up shot with the forehand or a backhand. 325 feet. Difficult, very tight. Even though it is this tight, it still feels like a hole you have to get out here just because it's a par 3 and you can see it.
Which is certainly a rarity here at Northwood's Black, to be able to see the pin.
Almost had it. That was going to be a good line. It was starting to stand up and turn over to the right. Again, a bit early release there. Think the left side slightly more open as far as scrambling goes, but either way, really like to stay towards in the middle. Even at 325 feet, difficult to get that scramble if you kick 10-15 feet off the fairway.
Presnell looks like this might be just turned over a little too much. Does fight up there, though, pin high, so we'll at least have some kind of look.
And not a bad result at all. What a touch shot from Corey there. Throwing that same line that he tried to throw off of the tee just a little bit closer so he discs down to that putter. A very nice touch. Gonna have an easy par. A little bit of juice on that one. Probably trying to hit a line. Had to throw it a bit harder than he wanted to. Giving himself a long look for the par now.
We get to Ricky looking to scramble for his par. Maybe a little more than that. Oh! Comes up a little short of the full run, but still pretty much par for par. Keeps the card clean.
Slammers. Those slammers on camera are those tricky, look like they're going to go in, but they're just so, they dump so fast. What a putt. Andrew Presnell taking advantage. Getting down that right side. Let's take a look at that again.
Yeah, certainly obstructed, having to straddle out, but hits that right-hand side and has it fall in. And that might be kind of the spark that he needs. Throw some fuel on and try to kind of get fired back up on this round after a couple of struggles here and there.
Yeah, that thing was dancing on that cage. You're right. And give that basket a little bit of love. Good commitment there. That's a frustrating feeling. That didn't look like a bad putt. Just came just a little bit high.
Ricky able to, again, grab par. Clean card still here through the front nine. No blemishes. Only one to do it so far here on the chase card.
And it's just the second hole on the course to average under par so far. Andrew, only one able to take advantage of that on our card. Moving into hole 8. Another lefty nightmare of a hole. 389-foot par 3. You've got OB down the entire right side. You still have to carry over OB to start the hole. You've got trees 115 feet off of the tee. You see right there are in OB. Trees just on the flat are about 170 feet away. But don't go right.
Well, he's not.
Yeah, that's what you want here. Safe inside circle 2. Actually, pin height. Very well played.
Don't hit that.
It's a great looking line here from Ricky. A little short.
He's up there right around where the FPO pin is at. You can't go right on this hole, so definitely the mistake to make.
Oh no.
B.
Take this hole.
Such a treacherous little ravine there if you catch an early tree. This hole just looks so intimidating.
Feels that way once you get there, too.
I couldn't even imagine, man.
Corey is going to be able to go to an optional drop zone. He'd pretty much have to re-tee if that wasn't there.
Come on, do it. Do it.
Look at this. Ah. Isn't it a chance? There is that wall you see back there, so a fairly safe run. It can leave you a tester comeback, but Corey, great putter, not going to be worried about that.
Certainly.
You're just going to see a layup. This level up here, especially if over on that side. Andrew.
Oh, just a little high.
Oh, sit down.
Oh, no. Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would have been back-to-back to get him back to even. Sure, he was looking for that. Corey Abel. Card the bogey. Not really what you're looking for. A little surprised at how easy the drop zone is on this one. As far as him not making it off of the tee. Well, to really get an easy bogey, it could definitely be more punishing as far as some of the other, how the other holes play out here. 27% of the field earning a birdie on this hole. That's incredible. That surprises me a little bit. Brings us into hole 9. Another difficult par 4. 732 feet, uphill about 10 feet.
Yeah, again, just constant theme in these narrow corridors, but also just a really well-guarded green as well. Once you get, you know, about 60, 70 feet from the pin, you still have to fight just to get in there.
This is the ideal line out of Andrew if he would have gotten it just a little bit higher so it could drift off to the right a bit more. Would be what you're looking for, that hyzer flip. Drift and slightly fade back. You really want to get 350, 380 feet off of this tee shot. Bit of an overcorrection of Andrew's throw there, and he's going to kick off into the left side and scramble for par mode over there.
Oh, a little pinball there from Cawthorne. At least gets centered, but not making much progress.
Forehand can play for birdie here, but difficult to get it to sit down and not skip off too far to the right.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Kick right. Thank you.
Is that to turn a little more? Oh, that's a nice kick.
This is definitely one of those courses that just test your grit. Like, it's the mental stamina that you have to just keep fighting.
Definitely brutal. It's brutal to try to maintain that positive attitude after you've been...
I'm stressed out just watching it. Like, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a competitor on this thing. Again, it just feels
slightly
so
off
intimidating.
your line. Brandon threw a great roller shot there, but now he's rolled back into the woods. It's because it curled slightly too late. This recovery shot from Corey going to be right in the middle. Should be 200 feet or so, maybe closer than that.
It's just kind of Ricky taking his medicine there, just pitched himself into a better position on the fairway. We'll have to now just try to see if he can fight for par. As Presnell had the most progress of all off the tee. It's still in a tough position.
Very good placement. Excuse me, good placement play there. Should be in that 200 range. Vicky not really in position, but this looks good.
Oh, yeah, perfect angle. Catches the last tree, but still rolls well within circle one. So par is available there.
I think for a lot of people that tree would matter a little bit, but Ricky gonna make that putt. He's not too worried about it.
Yeah, definitely known for his putting prowess, no doubt about that.
And then still struggling. Out, gonna now be trying to get up and down for his bogey.
Good up there from Presnell. Should give him a pretty
Nice
stress-free
pitch
par. Yep. Even this looks tricky here for Cawthorne. I think kind of fit this through some trees.
Maintaining his par streak. Lots of places you're not going to like the sound of that, but Ricky with that hot start, 4 down through 5 and 4 pars to finish out the front 9. Definitely in a great position. Already making a move this round, but in a great position to make an even bigger move on this back 9.
Yeah, I imagine there probably wasn't that many totally clean cars through 9 on this course.
Cawthorne hanging in there. Some good shots. Needs to string a couple good shots together. Corey Ellis and Andrew Presnell both sitting at 1 over par. Both with some birdies and bogeys going on. Northwood black. Definitely showing you the type of teeth it has. Again, we're seeing lots of different colors on these scorecards.
Yeah, but Ricky having a great time, you know, keeping that car clean with 4 birdies. It's certainly putting him in that tie for 4, just a few strokes behind our current leader, Gannon Burr, at this point in time, who's at 13 under par with Kevin Kiefer, with Barella just behind them. And that's going to do it here for our front 9 here on round 2 over at Northwood's Black for the Ledgestone Open. We appreciate you all for tuning in. And, of course, a special shout out to our Patreon supporters who, again, help make all this coverage possible here. I'm Dustin Mouret, and with me has been Nathan Queen, and we hope to see you out in the back 9.
See you guys out there.